Just a second. Right. So it is the ability, capacitance is basically the ability of a material to store energy in the form of electric field, right? So generally when we say capacitor, so it is an element which has the property of storing this energy, right? Which has the property of capacitance, right? So how do I get a capacitance, right? Simple. When we to get capacitance, firstly, that means what is that what we mean by capacitance? Ability to store energy, right? And that energy should be stored in the form of electric field, correct? So for that, first we need to generate the electric field and then we need to store it. Okay, correct? So electric field has to be generated first, right? And then it has to be stored. So how to generate electric field? For that, we use a conductors, right? So therefore, a capacitor has two conductors. Why two conductors? We will discuss later, right? So why do we require two conductors? We can use only one conductor to produce energy, right? Okay, why do we require two conductors? We'll discuss that later. So firstly, to generate field, I need a conductor. So instead of one conductor, I am taking two conductors having equal magnitude. The charge on both of them is same. Okay, the charge, okay, the charge stored, or the charge, right? The conductors, for this what I am doing is I am giving the charge, okay, onto them is, right, is same, okay, is equal, right, but opposite in polarity. That means if one is positive, the charge stored on the other will be negative, right? Okay, so I am taking a metal conducting plate having a charge or charge density of rho s, right? Rho s or plus q, right? Okay, right? Similarly, I am taking another charge, okay, of equal magnitude but opposite direction, right? Okay, right? And then I am putting a dielectric material in between them, and this dielectric material has a constant, dielectric constant or permittivity as epsilon. Okay, right? So okay, so the two conducting plates will produce the electric field, and that electric field will pass, right, will pass to the dielectric material and it gets stored inside it, right? A dielectric has a property of storing the energy inside it, right, or storing the charge inside it in the form of a dipole. Okay, so that means, see here, when a dielectric gets polarized, right, what is meant by polarization? Polarization basically refers the separation or displacement of charges. సో పోలరైజేషన్ అంటే డైరెక్ట్ మనం ఎప్పుడైతే ఎనర్జీ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది ఇస్తామో, ఈ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, ఆటమ్ జనరల్ గా ఇలా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ అన్ని కూడా రైట్ న్యూక్లియస్ చుట్టూ తిరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, బట్ వెన్ ఎవర్ ఐ అప్లై ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, వాట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యాపన్? All the electrons will get to one side, right? They get energy, right? They take that force, or they absorb that force. We discussed, right? Whenever there is electric force, some amount of energy will be transferred. So right, you are doing some work, right? So all the electrons are being moved, right? When we move them, we do some work. When we do work, right, energy gets transferred and energy is stored. Correct? Understood? All these are linked, right? So when I apply electric field to a dielectric, what is happening? Polarization is taking place. What is meant by polarization? The charge particles moving to, right, different directions, right? All the negative charge gets onto one side, all the positive charge or nucleus gets onto other side. So for doing this, you require, that means you need to move the charge, correct? So when I am doing the charge, when I am moving the charge, that means I am doing some work. Okay, so when I do work, that means I am transferring energy. Okay, so the energy is getting transferred to this charge particles whenever I put it in a electric field, right? So that means a dielectric, right, inside the dielectric, whatever the charge particles are there, they are storing the energy, right, or they are storing the field, right? So this property of a dielectric material to store energy or to store field is called as, right, is called as capacitance. Okay, so if I remove this field, what will happen? If I remove this field, does these charge particles remain there itself? No, they will again come back to the normal position, correct? They will again come back to the normal position, right? How do they move? Who is moving them? Whatever the energy they have, they will lose that energy and they will come back to the normal positions, right? So whenever the electric field is removed, does the capacitor store energy? Whenever you remove the supply of the capacitor, does it store energy again also after that? No, right? Okay, as long as you supply voltage, or as long as there is field, they will store energy, and once the field is removed, the energy gets moved away. Okay, so this point we have to remember. Okay, right? So right, a dielectric material has the ability to store energy, and this property of the dielectric material to store energy is called as capacitance. Okay, so a capacitor basically has two elements, right? One, a set of plates, a set of parallel plates, or a set of two conductors for generating a field. Okay, for generating the field, right? And a dielectric medium to store the field. Okay, so right, what does the thing is, these two, right, these two plates, they will generate a field, right? They will generate a field, right? Generate a field, and that field gets stored in the, right, gets stored in the dielectric material. Okay, so this combined action will give us, right, the ability to store energy, right, or the ability to store electric field, and this property is what we call it as capacitance. Okay, I hope this is clear, right? Okay, capacitance means, I'm repeating it again and again, capacitance means the ability of a material to store energy, right? There are so many definitions of capacitance, but in electromagnetics we define it that way, right? So ability of a material to store energy, or ability of a dielectric to store energy, is what we call it as a capacitance. Okay, how do I construct a capacitor? So basically it has to store energy. So before if it has to store energy, energy has to be, or field has to be generated. So for producing field, right, I need conductors. So I take two parallel conductors, right? And then conductors will only generate, or will only produce field. They cannot store. To store energy, I require a dielectric. Okay, so that is, right, two conducting plates or two conductors separated will by a, or right, insulated by a dielectric material will give us capacitance. Okay, so a capacitor is formed with the help of two conducting materials and a dielectric separation. Okay, so right, the capacitance or the amount of this will purely depend upon what is the dielectric material I use. Okay, it will depend upon, right, three things. We know the very popular formula, C is equal to epsilon A by D, right? So we will derive this. Don't worry, we will derive this. C is equal to epsilon A by D. What is epsilon? Epsilon is the electric permittivity of the dielectric. A is the area of the, right, area of the conducting plates, and D is the distance of separation between the, right, the two conducting plates, or the, right, we can say this is the thickness of the dielectric. D is the thickness of the dielectric, or the length of the dielectric, whatever in way. Okay, so this formula we will derive. Okay, right, clear with this? Understood, right? I hope this is clear. Okay, so what is capacitance now? Any doubts in this, right? Any doubts quickly? Any doubts in the capacitance? Is this clear? Capacitance means what now? Right, capacitance means the ability of a material to store energy. How do I form a capacitor? With the help of, right, two plates separated by a dielectric. Okay, so let us derive the formula for capacitance. Okay, so general formula, and then we'll derive the capacitance of parallel plate and spherical shell. With that we'll stop for today. Okay, first simple general formula. So we know that a capacitor will be formed. Let's say I have a structure like this. So inside this I am having two conductors, and there is a dielectric separation between them. Okay, so this is let's say plus Q, and this is minus Q. right? And this is a dielectric epsilon. Okay, right? This is a positive charge and this is a negative charge. There are two charges, so or there are 2 points, let's say. Okay, so definitely there will be some potential difference between them, correct? Okay, whenever I have two charges, right, or whenever I have a point at this point, let's say, so because of this there will be something because of this, something because of this, and we can have a potential difference between them, correct? Okay, so let us assume that this is the M1 and this is a metal plate M1, this is metal plate M2, right? So the capacitance will be given as C is equal to, the capacitance will be nothing but Q by V. Okay, so the general formula for a capacitor or the capacitance is nothing but it is the ratio of charge given to the metal plates to the voltage difference between the metal plates. Okay, the charge given to the plates divided by the potential applied between the metal plates. Okay, so that is C is equal to Q by V. Okay, C is equal to Q by V. So this is the general formula for capacitance, right? And the units, right? This is coulombs per volt, which is also called as farad. Coulombs per volt is also called as farad. Okay, so these are the units of capacitance which we know, right? C is equal to Q by V, right? It is the basically capacitance can be measured as the amount of charge given to the potential applied, amount of charge generated to the potential applied, right? What is the potential you have applied between the two plates to the charge produced on the conductor, right? Will give us, right? Will give us the capacitance of the material. So C is equal to Q by V. Okay, right. Now we know that Q, what is Q? The charge produced on the metal plate, right? So this is plus Q or this is minus Q, whatever it is, right? So we discussed that, right? Whenever we give some charge or whenever we give some field to the metal plate, right? Obviously all this, right, metal conductor, the charge gets accumulated on the entire surface. Okay, so now the whenever I apply electric field, whenever I give electric field to this, whenever I give this some E bar to this entire thing, right? What is happening? This E bar, right? Okay, we are producing a E bar with the help of potential. Let us say, okay, right? Okay, so whenever field is applied to this, right? Okay, so the charge gets accumulated on the surface of the metal plate, right? And the charge accumulated will give us a surface charge. Let us say that is Q is equal to rho S into area. Okay, area here I'm taking it as A or S, whatever it is, right? Generally we write it as rho S into ds. Okay, right? We can also write it as rho S into S, no issues. Okay, Q is equal to rho S into S. Okay, right? Or we can also write, right? We can also have, we have, right, using Gauss law, right? We can write Q is equal to integral d bar dot ds bar, correct? So from Gauss law, Q is equal to psi is equal to integral d bar dot ds bar. So this is equal to, right? So d bar can be written as epsilon into E bar, correct? Epsilon into E bar dot ds bar. Okay, so therefore what I can write is Q is equal to, right, epsilon, if I put it outside, E bar dot ds bar. Okay, E bar dot ds bar, right? So the charge basically is equal to Q is equal to, right, as per the Gauss law, Q is equal to, right, d bar dot ds bar, psi is equal to d bar dot ds bar. So from that, d bar can be written as epsilon into E bar dot ds bar. Epsilon is a constant, right? Epsilon is a constant which is permittivity, so we can put that outside, so we'll get something like this, right? Now V is equal to the potential, right, across the, or the potential difference in general in terms of E bar can be given as V is equal to minus integral E bar dot dl bar, correct? So we have already have derived a formula. So if I know, right, E bar, okay, if I know the electric field, then the potential can be given as, potential between the two plates can be given as V is equal to minus integral E bar dot dl. So now, therefore, the capacitance can be given as C is equal to Q by V, which is equal to, right, epsilon into integral E bar dot ds bar, right, E bar dot ds bar divided by, right, V is given by integral minus E bar dot dl bar. Okay, right. So I'm writing it up here. So C is equal to, right? Okay. So the first term, from this first term, E integral E bar dot ds bar. Okay. The second term is minus integral E bar dot dl bar. So this is the general expression for capacitance. Okay. General expression for capacitance. So I will explain it again. Simple thing, right? So we are going to, what is the aim is, we want to calculate the capacitance of the a general system. Okay. So for that, firstly, how do I form a capacitance? I have two plates, M, right, M1 and M2. So M1 has a charge of plus Q, M2 has a charge of minus Q. Okay. M1 has a charge of plus Q and M2 has a charge of minus Q. So with this I'll stop. Okay. Don't worry. With this I'll stop. So M1 has a charge of plus Q and M2 has a charge of minus Q. These two are separated by a dielectric. Okay. The dielectric constant I am taking is epsilon, right? Now what I am doing is, right, I am going to apply an electric field, right? Electric field E bar. Okay. So I am putting this, putting this system, entire system in electric field E bar. Okay. When I subject this to electric field E bar, what will happen? Inside a conductor, the conductor does not pass the electric field, correct? So does not pass the electric field. So I'm applying electric field E bar here. So because of this electric field E bar, right, the charge, right, the metal plate gets charged up. Okay, that is the metal. What is the conductor does, right? It will produce an electric field on itself. Okay, all the charge gets accumulated on the entire surface, right, and it will act as a or it will generate an electric field by itself. Ante kada, dananta kade electric field produce chestundi. Okay, so let the charge accumulated on this conductor be Q. Okay, so మనం ఏమనుకున్నాము, the charge produced on this is Q అనుకున్నాం. Okay, now this Q, what does this charge, right, it will produce an electric field and that electric field will pass through the dielectric and will get to the other end, correct? Okay, so all these, whatever the field that you produce will get stored inside the dielectric material. So we want to know how much is the capacity of this dielectric material that we want to. Okay, so because of this electric field there is a charge produced, that is Q, and there will be some potential difference between the two plates. That potential difference will, I'm taking it as V. So the ratio of Q to V, right, the ratio of Q to V is called as capacitance. Okay, the ratio of Q to V. So I am putting this inside an electric field. Because of this electric field, or I am applying some electric field to the first plate, because of this a charge gets accumulated and the conductor itself will generate some electric field that will be linked to the dielectric, that will pass to the dielectric, correct, only in the normal direction. We studied already, right, in the normal direction, and it will go to the other end. Okay, and in that it will, right, inside this it will not pass to this right, it will not pass to the conductor, again some, right, okay, thing will happen. But right, because of that all the dielectric will store entire energy that cannot link to the conductor kabatti it will stop here and it will get stored here. Okay, so enta store ayindi ante that is given by Q by V. Okay, so for Q what I am doing is, Q is given by Gauss law. So Q is equal to em raskunnamo integral d bar dot ds bar as per Gauss law. So d bar ante em raskochu epsilon into e bar dot ds bar. So Q is equal to, what we get is epsilon into e bar dot ds bar. Okay, now potential ఏమవుతుంది, V is equal to minus integral e bar dot dl bar. So C ante em raskochu Q by V, which is nothing but this by this. So this is the case. Okay, right, understood, simple thing. Okay, so మనం ఫీల్డ్ ఇస్తున్నాము, ఆ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది కండక్టర్ కి అప్లై చేస్తున్నాము. కండక్టర్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఫీల్డ్ వల్ల చార్జ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది, క్యూ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది, అంటే సర్ఫేస్ చార్జ్ అనేది జనరేట్ అవుతుంది. ఆ చార్జ్ వల్ల ఫీల్డ్ జనరేట్ అయ్యి ఆ ఫీల్డ్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ కి లింక్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, లింక్ అయిపోయి డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ లో స్టోర్ అవుతుంది. స్టోర్ అవడం వల్ల వచ్చే ప్రాపర్టీని మనం ఏమంటున్నాం, కెపాసిటెన్స్ అంటున్నాం. ఓకే, స్టోర్ అవడం వల్ల వచ్చే ప్రాపర్టీని కెపాసిటెన్స్ అంటున్నాం. ఎంత కెపాసిటెన్స్ వచ్చింది ఆర్ ఎంత అమౌంట్ స్టోర్ అవుతుందంటే దట్ ఈస్ గివెన్ బై సి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు క్యూ బై వి. క్యూ కి గాస్ లా ప్రకారం ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఇది, రైట్, వి కి ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఇది. సో ఈ రెండు రాసుకుంటే this will give us the general formula for calculating capacitance. This is the general formula for calculating capacitance. So ఒక్కొక్క దీన్ని ఎలా యూజ్ చేయాలనేది నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో చెప్తాం, రైట్. ఇన్ ద నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ we will see how to calculate capacitance for two specific examples. One, parallel plate capacitor, right, parallel plate capacitors ఏవైతే all we have heard about it, right, and then spherical capacitors. Okay, so for these two we will see how to calculate capacitance. Okay, so that we will continue in the next class. Any doubts in this thing you can